All right, so let's play another round of Imperial Settlers solo. So I'm gonna pull a faction card, and that is automatically part of my beginnings of my round. And then we're gonna pull 4 more cards to draft. Okay, so let's see which one I want first. I'm actually really interested in having this town so I can get some more workers. So I'm gonna grab that. Let's see what our virtual opponent will get. Okay, so they get this watchtower. And then what am I gonna choose? I'm gonna go for this right now since it makes the most sense in terms of what I'm producing. So they'll get this location. So if I want to raise either of these this turn, I'll get the spoils of that card, but we'll get there when we get there. Now I'm gonna produce. So that's gonna be 2 workers, 1 sword, 1 wood, 1 stone, 1 more wood from the card, and 1 more common card from my other card. So that puts some more cards in my hand, and that can never be a bad thing. So let's see what we can do with them. All right, so here's what I think I'm gonna do. I really want to make sure that I get these faction locations out. So my goal is making sure that that happens. I can very easily go ahead and just build this by spending my stone. It's action, sorry, I should go here. And getting rid of this card. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. So now I have yet another gladiator school. And one of the things that will be good about that is I'm going to be able to make some good progress with getting some sword tokens so I can either attack their stuff or raise my own. So let's see which of those things I might like to do. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to raise this card. So I'm going to spend my sword token to destroy this statue card for a victory point and a stone. So I score a victory point. In this version of the solo game, they don't matter that much, but if you play the campaign, they really matter because you can spend them on upgrades, which adds a lot of variety and like challenge to the game. But for now, they don't matter that much. But we also got a piece of stone, which is great. So this will go in the discard, but that's gonna make us able to build this town. And I'm very interested in building the town because that production is going to give me 2 more workers, which are just really useful in terms of getting resources. So I get that production bonus already this time. And then let's see what else I can do. Well, since I have these people, I can actually spend them either on raise tokens or on getting some resources to put some more buildings into play. So let's think about what the best way to handle this is going to be. Okay, here's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to pay 1 worker to gain 1 raise token so that I can then raise this location as well. So I'm going to spend it to raise this and get 2 stone. Then, because I wanted to get this location out anyway, I can then spend these 2 stones. Wait, is that exactly what I do? There's something else I'm going to do first. Haha, because I want to keep producing people. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and produce this. So I'm going to spend 2 workers to get 1 resource, in this case 1 wood. I'm going to spend those 2 wood to put out this production card, which hilariously gets me those 2 wood back. Then I'm going to spend these 2 stones and that wood location to build this Colossus. So that is another action card that I have potentially ready to go. So I've got 4 faction locations out to their 4 commons. I'm keeping up. I'd really like to get a little bit further ahead. I'm going to need to figure out how to do that in the next couple of rounds, especially because if they take one of my cards from me, they're going to get ahead, and that is not good. Let's see. What I may as well do actually here is I'll go ahead and pay to build this location as well. So I'll have more stuff to just sort of tank going into future turns to make this part of my board grow. The other thing I need to be concerned with is getting some more cards. I must get some card draw in here. So for now, we're going to go into the attack phase. Victory point. So neither of these has a victory point in it, so we are cool for now. We draw one more card. Food. No food, no food. We're okay again. So they've missed us again, thank goodness. They will be keeping these two locations. So they're at 4, I'm at 4. I need to get ahead. So we'll figure out if we can do that in round 3. All right, so we are all cleaned up and ready to draft another round. So first I get to draw 1 faction card for myself, so that's a good thing to start with. And then we're gonna draft 4 common locations. So let's see which one I would like and which ones I might like to leave to the other guy. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the gallows since it's fun to get victory points while I can before I just destroy that location anyway. We'll shuffle. Let's see what bad guy gets. All right, so they're gonna get the Imperial Messenger. We'll put that up here, away from my stuff. And then what do I want? Let's go for this one. They'll get the Court Sculptor. So hopefully I can do something about these cards this turn, but we'll see what happens in terms of my actual production. So now it's time for me to produce. So that's 2 workers. It's actually 4 off of this card. I get 1 sword token, 1 wood, 1 stone, and then I'm actually gonna get 2 more cards off the common deck. So I got an apartment and the Hanseatic League. So we'll see what they can do for me in this upcoming turn. So my big goals here are gonna be, again, I need to keep producing more faction locations. Part of the problem is I'm out of cards. So I need to find a way to get myself some more faction location cards. I may end up spending some workers to achieve that. Let's see what magic can we work here. All right, so the first thing I think I'm gonna do, none of these produce cards, and I can't raise this to get any cards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 of my workers to get those cards that I want. So I'm gonna grab a faction card. Okay, this is pretty good. Builder, it's got some production value. That's nice. So what I'm actually gonna do with it is I'm gonna go ahead and build this by spending this 1 stone and raising this 1 card. So that'll go into discard. And now I'm gonna get this production stuff. So I get 1 wood and 1 stone back for my efforts, which is definitely a good thing, especially because that wood is gonna allow me to build another location. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend it to build a gallows so that each time I raise, I'll gain a victory point, at least until I feel like destroying that particular location. So speaking of raising, we need to think of what to do next. So I definitely wanna build this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I have 1 stone already. I'm gonna spend this raise token to raise this location. So I raised again 1 gold, which is basically whatever resource I want it to be, and 1 stone. So I'm gonna raise it. I get a victory point for doing so because I built the gallows, and I'm gonna get 1 stone, 1 gold. And the thing that's nice about that is that now I can spend 2 stones, this feature, oops, and one of my locations, I guess I'll get rid of this one since that production is just too good right now, in order to build yet another location. So now I have a couple things left that I could do. I can use both of these people to gain some more raise tokens, and I think that's what I want to do. So what I would like is to raise in order to destroy one of my opponent's cards. So let's just sort of pick which one. So I can raise to gain a worker and a gold, or a worker and a stone. So I think I'm gonna go for the worker and the gold just in case I can figure out how to do something with it. So they get to keep this one. I'm gonna raise this one for a worker and a piece of gold. So let's see if there's anything else I can do with that before this turn is out. All right, so sadly, it looks like there's not really anything I can do, which is a bummer, But, you know, at least I took them down by one location, and my faction set is looking pretty healthy over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean up. Oh, sad to see that gold go. Okay, and now they're going to try to attack me. They can only attack this, so let's see what they get. Stone. Since this is raised to gain a person, we're still okay. What do we get next? No! Okay, so we get a worker. And what's going to happen is, so a worker and a stone? No. Worker and food? No. Worker and star? No. Worker and worker? Yup. So this gets raised. They take it from me, and it goes into their pile, which is a huge bummer. And these two cards that were used to make that match kind of go to the bottom down here. So sadly, they got me, and that totally stinks. But c'est la vie, right? So now we're going to go into another round, and that means that once again, I'll draw a faction card. Ooh, this one's got people production, and it's a faction card. That's good. And then we'll draft. So 4 cards from here, and this will be round 4. Okay, so I'm just definitely going to grab this ruins because it's free to build. Heck yes. Of course I want to build a location I can just destroy it for free. Excellent. So let's see what they get. Alright, so they're going to get the Carpenter's Workshop, which I'll just put up here. And then I get to pick the next thing. Let's roll with this cheap to build village. They take the quarry. And now, oh yeah, this is still clean up. I'm going to produce. So I'm going to get 2 workers, 1 sword, 1 wood, 1 stone. And then from this, I'm going to get 2 more common cards. So we'll see what we can do with them in a moment. And then I'm going to get another stone and another wood. So now let's see what I can do with all of this bounty, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this free paid no cost to build thing down immediately for a building bonus of 1 more worker. So that's pretty awesome. Let's figure out what I want to do next. Ooh. Okay, so these are both really nice. Really nice. Okay. So, very cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build both of these. So I'm going to spend these 2 woods to build this action. So I can spend 1 wood immediately to build a faction location, ignoring the building costs. I'm also going to pay to go ahead and build this because it's production, and I will get 2 workers for it. 1 for the production value, 1 for the building bonus, which gives me some benefits if I want to build some more stuff, which I definitely do. So now, what to build? I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 workers to pull another faction card because I could really use one right now. And that actually worked out really nicely. So it's a pay to build kind of situation, but I have, let's see, I have 1 stone already, and then I can use one of my locations. And then for this one, it's another production. It produces workers, which is really good. And I can spend 1 food in 1 location. Let's see. Okay. So here's what I think I'm going to do before I do any building. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 of these workers on my gladiator school to get another raise token. I'm going to spend these 2 raise tokens to raise this enemy card because I get a gold and a wood from that, which is pretty great. So take my gold, take my wood. So that gives me a little bit more to work with when it comes to building these faction cards, and I definitely like that. So, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to go ahead and build this. It's an action, spend 1 to gain 1 victory point. I would care more about that if we were playing the campaign, but for now, it's just a really good thing to have more faction cards. I'm gonna go ahead and raise this ruins because it doesn't really do anything for me now that I've done the building bonus. It was just a freebie that I can just trash to make more stuff. The other thing I'd really like is this one. So I don't have any food, but I can pay this gold in place of one. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the gold in place of the food, and I'm gonna spin this wood so I don't have to raise another location right now, which is pretty convenient. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. It's a production location, and that means that I'm gonna get 2 workers because you automatically get the production bonus when you build. So that is working out pretty nice for me. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna hang on to these for now. I don't really have the resources it takes to get them, and I don't want to necessarily do that. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and spin all these workers to pull more faction cards, because it's something that I've been having shortages of turn to turn. So this is helpful. Is there anything quick and easy to build? No, not this turn, but that is okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. And then we'll have one more round, but they're gonna attack me first. So let's see. Gold, no gold, no gold. We're in the clear. Star, no star, no star. We are still in the clear. So fortunately, our opponent has managed to miss us this time. So we're going into the last round with a little bit more of an advantage. So they get this card, but this is the only one they get from that round.